Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to check in on the energy for April 2025. So here's your April 2025 energy update. I have not done an energy update in a while, but the time has come for them to return. So if you enjoy these, definitely make sure you leave a comment. Let me know if you want these regularly each month again, and we can see if we can get those back up and going. So I've already connected in with the guides. I'm going to be sharing everything that they're saying that I'm seeing that's coming through intuitively, and I will be pulling cards. We'll see what messages come through. Typically there's a lot of overlap, just to tune into what do we need to know for April, what's coming up this month, what kind of energies can we lean into, any guidance for us for our highest and best is going to be the theme. So from a more logical perspective, in terms of numerology, this is going to be a 4-month. So we're looking at a bit more of a grounded energy. It's a good month to work on big projects. It's a good month to look at things that are foundational for our lives. So putting your head down and getting things done, doing work, looking at kind of more logistics, support systems, things like that. When I tap it intuitively, immediately the energy around April is really yellow. Yellow is very extroverted, it's bright, it's bubbly, it's very wise, it's very intelligent. There's a lot of growth potential in that yellow energy. So it's a very vibrant energy. And which is not usually always how I see April. This feels more like a summer energy to me, but there's a lot that's going to move and change. And so the first things that they're saying is that things are going to click into place. I do feel like there are going to be a lot of plot twists, I would say. I think that people have been feeling like they're on the right track, and you are on the right track, but the way that the pieces are going to fall into place might be a little bit different than what you thought. So it's all going to work out in a way where you're like, oh, great, I'm happy with that. It's what I thought was going to happen, but not how I thought it was going to happen, or the logistics of who are involved are different. So I do feel like in a lot of situations, the actual players in the game are going to change out for you. So that might look like people you're partnering with, might look like friend circles. So you get what you want, but it maybe comes through different people, or it involves different people is the best way I can describe it, because there is definitely a quick shift in energy, but you are vibrationally on the right path. Sometimes the people who, come with us part of the way can't come with us all of the way. The things that got us here can't get us there, and that comes with people as well. It does feel very relational to me. It feels like a lot of realizations in terms of your social life. I would say it's social, and that might be more network, it might be more colleagues business wise, but there are people that are going to drop in. They're going to be really important for you in these next phases, people who are actually ready and available to support you in expansion. I feel like some of the people that you've been leaning on or expecting to come with you so far, they've been good for getting you to this place, but now that you're in an energy of I'm ready to really grow and bloom and expand, that energy is taking off, and you need people who can hold a bigger container. A lot of what's going to get eradicated from your life are going to be people who are jealous, people that are unhealed, and it's unhealed in these more subtle ways. It's not that sometimes when people are unhealed, we can tell very obviously that person is unhealed. Other times they don't present that way, but deep within they very much are, and that frequency will have effects on you and the people around them, and those people are also being aligned with their deepest growth and highest expansion. And so sometimes we have to lose things, or things get rearranged for us to finally face our wounds and heal ourselves. But you are really going to be aligned with the support that you need to bloom into your next phase. And what I will tell you is that certain people and things are going to get left behind, and you have to decide if it's more important to you to keep certain people and things in your life, or if it's more important for you to get to your next level, because this is a big timeline jump. I feel like in April there's a big timeline jump, and then in May we're riding in that new frequency. May feels very travel. I guess it's going to be a 5. So yeah, it is very travel-y. It feels like a lot of movement. It feels like a lot of exploration and creativity and getting to know this new phase. And so April's going to kind of lay the foundation for that. You will probably receive a lot of creative inspiration, a lot of inspiring energies coming through. So I feel inspired to go to this event. I feel inspired to create this project. I feel inspired to change XYZ about with my career, with my business, with my style. Follow that inspiration. They just keep showing these sparks of light. They're sparks of divine inspiration, sparks of divine insight that are guiding you on your path. Very much in this month, it is not going to feel like you know the next 10 steps. It's going to feel like I don't really know anything right in front of me right now. And so I just need to go one step at a time. That is normal, and that's good, because that means that you're jumping into a place that you haven't been before. It means that you're upgrading, you're up leveling. And so really just trust your intuition. You need to have practices to ground yourself in. You need to be really aware of what's yours and what's other people's. And when you take some extra time this month to tune into your own energy field, not talk it out with other people. You're by yourself, you're reflecting, you're writing, you're meditating, you're journaling, whatever it is. That's where you're going to get the best clarity, because there, again, are going to be realizations that you have or ideas that you have that are taking you left when you were assuming you're always going to go right. And you can't get blinded by the plan you had originally, because a bigger thing's going to come for you when you're looking at that divine inspiration. So, to give an example, I mean, this happened already, but this is very much the energy in my own life. We're opening up, a big headquarters space, and I literally had no plans to do that. Wasn't planning on it. Wasn't looking for an office space. Like, literally wasn't on my mind. I just kind of fell into it one day, and my whole body lit up, and I go, oh my God, this is what I need to do. And now this is a huge project we're working on. It's going to change the trajectory of the business in a really great way. Something I literally never thought about or planned on, just fell into my lap. But the first time I actually saw this space, I was in the mindset of, oh, well, I'm not looking for a space. So I wasn't seeing it with open eyes. And then it bumped up against me again. And I thought, wait, I think this is just getting delivered to me. So that's what I'm talking about. Don't assume no's because the old you thought it was going to be a no. Be open. So that's where we will orient from. The other thing that they're saying is that relationships are going to get tested. So romantic relationships, because you're about to bloom. They keep using that word bloom. You're going to bloom in a big way. You're going to expand in a big way. If the people that we are with are unintentionally or intentionally trying to hold us back or keep us as the versions of us we are, instead of allowing us to grow and expand, that will become very highlighted. So there will be some relationship tension this month. If there's any of that stuff that still needs to be healed, that is an example of somebody who is not fully healed when they're trying to hold us back from our own growth. Sometimes that's for very loving reasons. They don't want things to change because they're worried if it changes, you won't feel the same. But you have to be aligned with people that can hold your expansion, that can hold your growth. And this is going to show you who can and who can't. So allow the tension to come up. That's what I would say. All right. First set of cards. We have Get Crystal Clear, Open the Door, Create Your Own Luck, Overcome Your Fears, and Let the Money Flow In. And this, I mean, everything I'm saying, right? We're talking about relationships changing. We're talking about how the doors are opening for more expansion. This is all very like wealth oriented. I mean, the energy in general for the part of the collective that is on the spiritual ascension path is very oriented right now toward what's going to allow us to really be in an optimal state of abundance. We are seeing the biggest transfer of wealth that we've ever seen in a 3D sense, but it's also in a spiritual sense, even beyond just all these businesses getting sold, getting passed on to different people. In terms of who has the power, we are seeing wealth move into people who are spiritually aligned, people who can take responsibility with money, people who want to do mission-oriented things with money. And the divine is going to move money to people who have a plan, a big plan to help other people. They have a big plan to serve the collective. Get crystal clear, open the door, create your own luck, overcome your fears, let the money flow in. This is all very much like you are going to receive that expansion. You're going to receive that wealth. You're going to receive that abundance when you pick a lane. No more back and forth, no more wishy-washy. You need to niche down. You need to niche down into your focus, into your offer, into your customer, into your ideal customer, like whatever it is that you are a little too non-specific about, a little too general about, you need to focus and go all the way in so that momentum can be added. And then you full send, you create your own luck, open the door. This is very much I'm going to take some agency. When I take a step forward and I show the universe, hey, I'm going in this direction, I'm running, run with me, run ahead of me. Now that is when energy starts to move, but we have to send a really clear signal about which way we want the ball to roll and which way we are committed to. And a lot of this is connected to overcome your fears. You know why people don't get clear, why they don't add a lot of momentum in a certain direction? Because they're afraid. They're afraid of picking the wrong thing. They're afraid, if I go that direction that I really want, that I really know is for me, what if it doesn't work out? What if I look stupid? What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? Whatever it is. The whole point of this human experience is overcoming your fears. That is how you spiritually ascend and awaken. You are going to face your fears. That is how you find liberation. When you move through your fears, when you look them in the eyes, you work with them, you do not let them hold you back, you get to know them, you transmute them, you move forward, and that is how money flows in. And that's the truth of how abundance works. Abundance is really a reflection of, have I really alchemized and transmuted my fears, my triggers, whatever is unhealed? When we learn our spiritual lessons, abundance flows to us. The universe says, yes, you've aligned with more authenticity because your fears are not authentic. So this is really about you finally claiming what you want to create and you saying, I'm going to go all in on this. You have to take some action to show the universe, I believe I'm worth this. You've got to do something of like, hey, I'm going to put myself out there. Even if I'm worried I'm going to get rejected or made fun of or it's not going to work, you've got to get the ball rolling a little bit and the universe is going to pick it up for you. But the whole point is that if the universe just handed it to you, you wouldn't actually have to ever overcome your fear and then you're never actually growing. This is about a growth experience. So you need to take a little more action here. You need to claim what you want. And that's what's going to really open up the money portals. That's what we have first. Let's roll into our next deck, our animal deck. April 2025. So I like to do different decks because I like to see how it all overlaps and kind of different angles to the story. And we kind of look at the big picture at the end and how it connects into everything that first dropped in. Okay. We have Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. Elephant Spirit. Learn from the past. Otter Spirit. You are never alone. And Wombat Spirit. Be at home. Inside joke if you've been here for a while. Wombat Spirit. Oh, Wombat Spirit comes up every reading, I swear. Because Wombat Spirit is actually about, it says be at home. What that is at home with yourself. What that is being authentic. What that is hanging up any masks or false identities and just being the true you and not trying to put on a show for anybody else. So if we look at this holistically, love is all around. Learn from the past. You are never alone. Be at home. I feel like a lot of these fears that are going to come up are going to be in relation to, and going back to what we talked about at the beginning, who am I losing? You know, you might get triggered with like, whether it's clients or customers or friends or family or romantic partners, when we realize this is blocking my expansion and I have to go a different direction. The very real fear that comes up is going to be, what if no one's left? What if I shift my career and no one buys? Why would I leave this? Or what if I drop these friends and I never make friends again? Or what if I'm losing the love of my life? All of these fears, right? But here's the thing. There are going to be moments when you reflect on the situations that drop into your awareness this month where you're going to realize, where does this feel like what it felt like before in my life? What are the similar experiences I've had where I'm feeling a similar feeling? There's a similar energy. There's a similar pattern. What was it that I was really, really meant to learn? I think at the end of the day, a lot of this comes back to what are all the places where I have, in really micro ways, macro ways, sure, but I think at this level of conversation, these really small ways where I have adjusted myself to make people feel more comfortable or make them like me, where over time it's all built up. And now suddenly I've created this expectation where I'm going to show up in a certain way and it's not actually the way that I fully want to show up, or maybe where I don't feel safe to shift, to transform, to change, because I know that people are attached to the version of myself I've been so far. And you realize how important it is from the beginning in relationships to show up as the real you. There's a lot of reminders in here. Love is all around. You're never alone. Learn from the past. What have you learned from the past? Have you had the experience of I let go of something and what was really for me came in? Have I learned the experience of I let go of what was feeling heavy and I immediately felt better and good things did come into my life? Where can I finally clear this fear, this false fear that I'm going to be alone forever? But it's really that you're going to be supported. It's really that there's lots of love available for you. And I think a lot of people settle for the 80% or the 90%. And you want to be seen, you want to be loved, you want to be appreciated. And if there's a piece of you that's feeling like you're not fully seeing me or not fully appreciating me, or I'm not able to fully show myself, you've got to look at that. There is so much support. There are so many people that are waiting for you, that are ready for you, that want to be in a relationship with you in whatever way, whether that's friendship or working with you or whatever way. There are always going to be people that are there for the real you. You're coded to be the real you, the most authentic you. And that's actually where you're going to receive the most love and the most support. And so what I would say is, remember that even if it feels like you're walking into the darkness to be alone, that's all an illusion. And when you walk through that initial dark veil, you get to the other side and you receive all of the love and abundance and support that you've been waiting for. It's just about getting past that initial fear, that initial illusion. And when we face that test and we pass that test, then we experience all the things we really wanted. But I think there's a deeper energy here that is, it's tiring, it's exhausting, and it's not working to try and be a different version of ourselves, or to try to bend our boundaries or what we want, or hold ourselves back from growing so that other people feel okay or they don't feel unsettled. It's okay to outgrow people and it's okay to outgrow things. And what I want to tell you is that there's a bigger level of support available to you. Like when you pass this test, when you say I'm all in on this mission, I'm all in on the frequencies I know I want to feel and deserve in this life, and I'm just going to full send into that, the universe is going to show up for you in such bigger ways than you've even experienced. Like, you have only experienced a percentage of what the universe can do for you, and the universe is trying to give you all that it can. And this is how you really master energy. You pass these tests, you clear these fears, you face them head on. Communication. Let me put all these out. All right. Communication. The cow. Nourishment, abundance, asking and receiving. Partnership. The water fairy. Feelings and emotions. And movement. Wow. I mean, got a lot of themes here coming on, right? Communication, asking, receiving. What is the energy balance in my relationships? Whether that's with your career, whether that is with friendships, whether that's with your romantic relationships. I mean, support systems clearly are coming into play here because you are about to expand and shift onto a new trajectory, and you are being asked to get really clear on what you need in a support system, and if the current support system that you have is actually supporting you or if they're just there, right? People will ask questions to me about relationships, and some of the questions they ask, I'm like, do you realize that the essence of a partner is to be a partner? The essence of a partner is that they're supporting you and you're supporting them. It's an actual partner. And people assume that in relationships, it's going to be them doing all the work. It's going to make life harder. If that's what you're assuming, that's not a real partner. And that's not the kind of person you're trying to attract in, right? So we're looking at real partnership. What is it that I am looking for? This is going to be emotional. This is the kind of like, you know, the vibe of this is, wow, I'm so excited. I got this huge career opportunity and I'm going all in on it. Or this is the month I'm finally finishing this project, opening up this business, writing this book, making this movie, and I'm so excited. I'm pumped. And when I say yes to that and I'm working on that, you know what's happening is my partner is getting snippy because they're upset I'm working too much. My friends are getting jealous. I'm not getting invited to things. I'm noticing like negative evil eye energy getting sent my way. And suddenly you're thinking, I mean, aren't you here to support me? I thought you loved me. And here I am trying to focus on the things that I'm finally excited about. I'm going all in on who I'm meant to be, and you're not showing up for me, or I'm getting this weird energy from you. This is the feelings. This is the emotions. It's going to evoke a lot of emotions for you in terms of your relationships, but you have to really come back to this card: nourishment, abundance, asking, receiving. Are you asking for what you need? Are you communicating clearly? Because it's not that all of these relationships need to go away, but it's that they have to recalibrate for you to move forward. So some things maybe need to be cleared, but a lot of relationships just need an upgrade. And they upgrade when we communicate, when we say, hey, this is the journey I'm on right now. This is how I've been feeling. I'm realizing this is important to me. And for me to create this in my life, I'm going to have to make some changes. These are the changes I want to make. These are the things that I want to do to make myself feel better. This is what I want to prioritize. And when you do that, you give that person the opportunity to say, I hear you and I support you and I want to be with you in this next level of expansion. And how can I support you in that? Or you give them the opportunity to say they don't like that and show you their true colors. But you have to be really clear with your communication. The biggest piece of guidance I would give you is do not make assumptions about how other people feel or what they want. You need to communicate really clearly. And that is one of the big lessons this month is, can I really refine my communication skills? This goes back to the wombat card. Am I only saying a percentage of what I really feel or what I really want? Or am I fully communicating what I want and need? Am I fully making an ask? Am I fully allowing myself to express who I am, who I want to be? Or am I hoping that other people are going to understand without me expressing it, or that they're just going to get it and I don't have to explain it? It's all of these little ways that we try to avoid being really precise with our communication. These are the ways that we hold up these veils and these walls where people can't see us. And again, the spiritual lesson, the spiritual growth is, can I let myself be fully seen and fully visible? This is where the movement comes in. I mean, energy is changing. Energy is moving. This is like what we know, what all the cards are saying. And we're refining how we show up in terms of our communication. You are setting the frequency of your relationships. And so a lot of times people will get frustrated in relationships, or they'll leave relationships because they feel like people don't understand them. They don't see them. They feel like the communication isn't there. And sometimes it's just truly not resonant. But there's a lot of times when we look at that person who's feeling that way, where you have to ask, but did I set the stage for that person to meet me? Did I give that person an actual opportunity? Was I communicating clearly? Was I asking the questions that I wanted to have conversations about? How clear was I being with my communication? It's so easy for us to put the blame on everybody else, but you can only know the truth of your relationship with somebody, or if they are meant to be in your life, if you are so crystal clear and honest with your communication and what you need. And that is going to be the big thing this month, that I think even being unafraid to express how you're feeling is going to be huge. Like where maybe things are hurting you, stories you're telling yourself. But this goes hand in hand with, we've got to be able to take personal responsibility for our side of the street. This is not just about, hey, people can't hold me because I'm too powerful, or you're holding me back. It's not that. It's, but how did I attract that into my life? You weren't being clear with your communication. Communication is not just verbal, it's nonverbal. It's also about who we say we are as people, because there's a reason you have those people in your life, but we have to realize where maybe we weren't being as clear or precise as we needed to be. I'm actually just going to jump to tarot. Let's see. This will be our last deck. You know those times in life when so much is happening? Like I've had times where I'm traveling so much. There's a lot happening with my business. There's 800 things going on at the same time. And in it, there's a lot of exciting things. And in it, there's also a lot of maybe devastation. Like there are things that I've lost and maybe arguments that I had. And there's also all this fun stuff that's happening. And it's just like all at the same time. So I'm like, wow, things are going really well, but also, whoa, my emotions are really going through it. That's the kind of vibe for April. It's kind of like lots of good things, but lots of maybe overwhelm as well. Okay. Wow. Here we go. The themes continue. 3 of Cups. 9 of Swords, the Star, 5 of Wands, 4 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, and the Sun. Okay, here's what we're getting from this. So we have a lot of collaboration cards and different dynamics of collaboration. We have that 3 of Cups, celebration, friendship. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, right? We're working together, collaboration again. So we go back to that partnership card. Who's helping us? Who's supporting us? Who are we celebrating with? Network, friendship, social circle, things like that. And then we also have this on the other side with that, right? Looking at social dynamics or relational dynamics, I will say, the 5 of Wands, where there's this kind of conflict. There's a lot of like back and forth, like people are fighting each other with sticks, right? There's that energy of maybe things are feeling misunderstood. We're not seeing eye to eye. There's stress in that kind of dynamic. Like, where is this not working? And there's also the 5 of Swords, which is like, hey, maybe there was a fight. Maybe there's a misunderstanding. Maybe I walked away feeling like, yeah, I won, but what else did I lose with it? Like I won the fight, but I lost a friend in the process. I won the fight, but I lost a partner. That kind of energy. So you're seeing the different conflicts with these dynamics. Here's what I would say. This is very much a looking at, again, it's just like a rush of emotions connected to this. Like there's fun, there's celebration, but there's also stress, there's anxiety, I'm like, how's this going to work? I feel like it's you looking at who you want to be and what you're ready to step into and the new direction you want to take in your life. And it doesn't have to be like, it might be a new direction. It might just be an up level of the current direction because it just very much is a blooming and expansion. And you feeling worried about when, you know, the Star is all about wishes being fulfilled, wishes granted, me stepping into my next level, like me getting everything I want, realizing how that's going to change things and how that might be causing conflict, right? And so then we start to experience, wait, now that things are going really well for me, people aren't happy for me. People maybe are feeling jealous, or I'm feeling lonely. Maybe I'm feeling lost. Maybe I'm feeling confused. I feel like I'm losing a part of myself. I'm not feeling clear within myself. You're just realizing how are these things going together? Like I'm getting what I want, but it's not, there's other stuff that's not really working. The universe comes in. This is the 4 of Cups. And the universe is like, look, there's something else going on though. You're sitting here trying to, you know, untangle this ball of twisted wires, right? And here's a different way to look at it. Like, here's a fresh slate. Here's a fresh untangled cord. And this is where we've got to keep our eyes open because there's a different way. And this is where now suddenly, where I thought I was having fun before, or the people were supporting me, I'm realizing there's a more mature type of support. I'm realizing there's a more stable and grounded type of support. I'm realizing there's maybe mentorship available to me. There's a different perspective. I do feel like really strongly, you know, the swap out in terms of whether this is social circle or professional network or like team environment, there's a maturity shift. You're realizing that it was a little immature before and now suddenly it's stepping into a higher level of maturity. And you're realizing that, you know, walking away actually is going to bring you more satisfaction than trying to prove your point or trying to hold on to what you thought. Like there's that kind of energy. When you finally release that, you're going to experience full joy. You know, the sun card is the perfect depiction of what I was seeing at the very beginning when I just said, you know, what's the energy for April in 2025? This is the overall feeling, the frequency, that bright yellow, that sun energy, that vibrancy, that life force energy, that inner child joy, that expansion, that play. Because through this process, we're dropping all of the heavy stuff that was holding us back. We're dropping all of the heavy stuff that was making us feel guilty about our happiness. No more of that. Making us feel guilty or shameful about our success, our happiness, our manifestations. This is about letting things go if they're meant to go. And this is about not trying to hold on, not trying to make it work, not trying to reason with other people, but realizing that the team of support around you, whether that's friends or colleagues or whatever it is, you do not have to force them or convince them to want to support you. They're going to be excited about supporting you in your mission, in your dreams, and it's going to feel light. It's going to feel fun. It's going to feel like flow. And that correct team for you will feel like a team of in real life spirit guides, a team of mentors all around you. When you are in true, divinely loving relationships in terms of support systems, you realize that everybody around you is a teacher and a mentor for you, the same way you are for them. And it feels actually mutually beneficial. Going back to that giving and receiving card, it doesn't feel like I'm the one leading everybody else, or I'm the one figuring everything out, or I'm the one organizing everything, or I'm always the one giving the good advice. It doesn't feel like that. It's a more upgraded level of relationship where everybody is giving and receiving, and you see everybody as, a real equal. You see the beauty and the gifts in everybody around you, and you allow all the people around you to be mentors, and you're mentors to them. And that's where you are going to feel really solid and stable. And it's from that space of stability and true support that our nervous systems and our energy bodies feel safe enough to actually fully bloom and hit their next level. Because it's kind of like this is all ready to explode, but it can't if the foundations are not set up for us to grow, right? It's like any business. I was just saying earlier, if you're doing a PR push, you have to make sure that everything's set up so that if you had an influx of new clients, customers, viewers, whatever, everything's set up to be able to handle that. If we receive too much energy and we don't have the foundation set up so we can't receive it, we crash and burn. It's kind of like people who go viral and they crash and burn because they weren't emotionally, mentally stabilized enough to receive all of those comments, or people who receive a ton of money really quickly or too young and they don't know how to handle that and they lose it all because they were not actually stabilized energetically to be able to receive that and hold that. And so this is all showing you what you need to create those foundations to be stabilized so that the universe can send a lot of energy your way. But even more than that, the energy is much more like you expanding and opening up. It's not like you're just standing still and it's coming to you. It's like you are truly blooming. You're truly expanding, growing, and you're like the sun that just gets bigger and bigger, and more people see you and witness you and experience you. But you have to feel safe and stabilized to be able to bloom, to show more of yourself, and to let yourself be exposed, because we have to be able to show ourselves if we want to be seen. It's really that simple. So I think it's going to be a really transformational month, and it's going to set the stage for a really exciting May, is how I feel. And that is going to be our energy update for April this year. Let me know if this resonated for you. Definitely leave a comment below with what you're feeling, what resonates for you. You know, it's always good to check in on this also at the end of the month to see how it panned out, because a lot of this we think we can know how it's going to play out, but the whole point of this is that you don't know. So then you start to see how the pieces fell into place. And if you did enjoy this and you want more of these and you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the thumbs up button so that I know that you enjoy it. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already so that you don't miss any future videos. If you are listening on the podcast app and you share this with social media, if it resonates, be sure to tag me at Christina the channel and at Multidimensional Pod. And if you think this would help somebody in their life, then send them the link so they can tune into the energy for this April. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, an amazing month, and I will see you in the next episode.